Rhinoceros is a very well written episode of Rugrats. This is the second segment of the third episode of the third season. And in this one, Angelica is dressing up as a doctor, and I think her outfit looks brilliant. I also love the fact that she was a doctor and not a nurse. This was in the very early 90s, where there were still some gender stereotypes about male doctors, female nurses. So I really like the fact that she was playing a doctor. And she decides to practice, and the babies are going to play hospital, but it's a bit more serious than that. They're not just playing because Chucky has rhinoceritis, apparently. And Angelica points out various ailments that prompt this diagnosis. And what I will say is, as I said, it's beautifully written. There are so many medical terms in this that are fluffed up in Rugrats style, where they mispronounce things and get things wrong. And even the term rhinoceritis, I can't even pronounce it. Rhinoceritis is pronounced a load of different ways, a lot of very made up ways, but at one point, I can't talk today, at one point, Chucky referred to it as rhinoplasty, which is just the medical term for a nose job. So that rather amused me that he actually did use a medical term at one point. But the rest of it is, as far as I know, kind of Rugrats gobbledygook, which I love. And it is very, very well written. I feel like the writers of this episode had a lot of fun coming up with all of these really bizarre terms for really equally bizarre medical terms. And there are some really good quotes in this one as well. Rugrats often has some very interesting viewpoints, and this is what we get here, where Angelica's father isn't exactly happy when she causes a bit of a mess, and she says, to quote, "That's because he's threatened by working women." Absolutely love it. But also, I kind of feel like that's true because look at Drew's wife, Charlotte. She's a powerhouse. She's definitely the dominant adult in that relationship, and I imagine he probably does feel quite intimidated by her. But I just thought it was, a really lovely comment and very thought provoking as well. Uh, so we have the Rugrats playing various characters. There's the receptionary, who's the receptionist, who has to ask how Chucky will be paying his bill, which would have went over my head as a child because we don't pay for surgery in the UK. Because we're very fortunate. I mean, in theory, we do because we pay taxes, which goes towards medical care. But you know what I mean. But that wouldn't have made any sense to me as a child. And Angelica operates on Chucky and tries to cure his rhinoceritis, but Chucky thinks he's just going to turn into a rhinoceros. Also, the term rhinoceros was fluffed up a few times as well, which is just rather entertaining. I really liked it. Very well animated as well. At one point, the babies collect some flowers to give to Chucky to make him feel better, and the flowers are beautiful. Really, really well animated. Really great pacing for the narrative, but for me, as I said, the writing is what makes it really fun. Every second sentence almost includes some kind of gobbledygook, fluffed up term. That's just a lot of fun and really entertaining. Um, Definitely a good episode, and I remember it. It's another one I remember from my childhood. Season 3 is definitely speaking to me. The nostalgia here is very specific. Really enjoying it in this episode. I really, as an adult, really appreciate how well written it is and how well animated it is as well. Rhinoceritis is definitely a quality episode.